and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tatler Talks, the Proscenium Way, living life at its best. My name is Nicole Andersson, and I will be your host for this evening. And tonight, we will be discussing why it's so important to belong to a community, especially in times like these. And as we all know, Rockwell is such a prime example of a community that offers security, leisure activities like shopping and dining, plus the enjoyment of the arts. And in today's Tatler Talks, we will also be having residents, a designer, and business individuals exchange their ideas on the best way to live life elegantly and luxuriously in a community like Rockwell. Before we introduce our guests, we actually have a very exciting giveaway for all of you guys joining us tonight. And we're going to be giving away 2 prizes. So we're going to have 2 lucky winners who will then give the best answer to this question that I will ask in just a little bit. You will then get a chance to win an espresso machine and an overnight stay in Aruga Apartments by Rockwell. Now, all you have to do to win those 2 prizes, 1 winner of each, is to answer what is your fondest memory in Rockwell. Don't forget to leave your answers in the comments section down below. You guys can be as creative and as sentimental as you want to be in answering this question so that our Rockwell team can then choose the best answers and will contact you. Don't forget to put your email address along with your answer. So again, what is your fondest memory in Rockwell? Put your answer in the comment section, and don't forget to put your email address because that is how they will be contacting you for delivery details of your prizes. All right, now moving on, I mentioned earlier you have some Rockwell residents and some merchants joining us. So let's call them to join me. First up, we have Chef Josh Boutwood of Test Kitchen. Hello, Chef.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you, Nicole. How are you?
Very happy, and I'm happy to be chatting with you today. And we actually have some very exciting other guests joining us. I think you have an idea of who they are. Please join me in welcoming interior designer and co-founder of Moss Design House, the beautiful Cyndi Fernandez. Hello,
Hi,
Cyndi.
Nicole.
How's it going?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Chef. Good. I just got back from the US. I finished a couple of projects here, so I'm doing my quarantine stay. But I'm using
You
this
look
time
really
to
good to be in quarantine. Great. Well, I can't wait to see you around Rockwell once you get out. But joining us also, we have the acclaimed jewelry designer and one of my favorite names. I wonder why, Nicole Whisenhunt.
Hi, Nicole, Josh, Cyndi. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Nicole. Where are you calling us from?
Hi. Oh, I'm in my apartment.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks fabulous behind you.
Yeah.
I love the artwork. We're actually going to be
Thank you.
talking about our residents' experiences in just a little bit, but we're missing one more person. So up next, we have the gorgeous corporate coach, theater actor, and host, Anne Gauthier.
Hi, Nicole. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Anne, you look gorgeous as ever. And as I mentioned, also a Rockwell resident. Are you excited to be joining us tonight?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for having me.
I'm sure we have a lot of experiences to share in just a little bit, but let me talk a little bit about the latest development from Rockwell, which is Proscenium. And Proscenium is a welcome addition to Rockwell Center and is a beautiful development located at a prime location in Makati City. I'm sure we all know this as we all see it as we walk around. But for those who don't know, it really boasts of 5 uniquely designed residential towers. Namely, we have Kirov, Sakura, Lincoln, Lorraine, and the Proscenium Residences. The development houses state-of-the-art amenities, which Anne will tell us all about in a second, and will soon have posh retail establishments, professional workspaces, and a world-class performing theater. Imagine having all of that in your backyard. It's amazing. The Proscenium Residences is the last residential tower in the Proscenium, and the only tower with a helipad and scenic elevator. I need to get up there and take some photos, guys. It is also currently being turned over to unit owners as we speak, and they also have 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom units available right now. And for those who are watching and curious, who want to purchase a unit, you guys can actually move in right now. Today, if you guys want to, you can. And we also have exclusive offers available for those who do. Just DM and ask any questions. Also, guys, by the way, for those watching us tonight, if you guys have any questions, feel free to just pop them into the comment section. We will have a Q&A at the end. So our team will be gathering those questions and we will do our best to answer them at the end of the talk. So without further ado, let's tune in to this video to get a glimpse of the Proscenium Residences, a piece of paradise that best fits your lifestyle.
Located within a vibrant community at the heart of Makati, the Proscenium at Rockwell makes its distinctive mark on the city's skyline. It redefines high-rise living with its luxurious offerings, world-class amenities nestled within a development of 5 residential towers. I'm Angel Jacob, and together we take a peek into the Proscenium Residences' 121 square meter 2-bedroom unit. Standing at 59 stories high, the Proscenium Residences is the tallest among the residential towers and offers diverse unit cuts that suit the most discerning lifestyle. A reflection of the Proscenium Residences lobby, this model unit has a homey yet modern feel with a touch of nature. Its ceiling height of 2.8 meters gives that feeling of spaciousness. We're here in the dining room area, now to the living room area, which has an extended balcony where you can take your freshly brewed cup of coffee. Welcome to the kitchen, which comes fully equipped with mega appliances. Just like this double-door refrigerator, you have your oven, your cooktop, and your range hood. You also have your soft close cabinet doors. And this beautiful countertop, which comes in natural stone. On the way to the bedrooms, you have this nice hallway which gives you a lot of wall space to spruce up to your liking. As you can see, it's these touches that can really add more personality to a blank canvas. I like that this 2-bedroom unit has a lot of closet space and a comfortable bed, a room which you can decorate to your liking. An elegantly finished toilet and bath is right next door, which also serves as a powder room for your guests. Let me now take you to the master's bedroom. Welcome to this cozy space inside the unit, the master's bedroom. A statement chair can be placed in that corner of the room. A suggestion for a work table in this area, which opens up to a nice and very relaxing view. Let me now take you to the walk-in closet. Here you go. Your rope lights and lots of closet space. And after a long day, you can relax in this beautiful bathroom. If you're like me, the ultimate luxury at the end of a long and tiring day is being able to unwind in a very relaxing bathroom. This master's bedroom bathroom comes with muted lighting and premium fixtures and additional touches that really make the settling in feel like a treat. Living at the Proscenium Residences also gives you access to premium amenities. You can bask in the scenic views from the tower's roof deck while enjoying the company of family or friends. With an expanse of a hectare, the amenity deck on the 5th floor is also equipped with swimming pools, landscaped lawns, jogging paths, and an outdoor tennis court. The tower itself has a fitness gym and dance studio, as well as a function room and business center for your professional needs. The Proscenium Residences truly elevates your lifestyle as an ideal abode within one of the most coveted addresses in Makati.
Wow, that is actually like making me want to move in right at this moment. I'm packing my bags as we speak. All right, guys. I know a few of you guys have either worked in Proscenium or are actual residents of Proscenium, and I want to ask. So let's start with Anne. What are the benefits of being part of living in a community like Rockwell? And I'm sure actually everyone can chime in.
The benefits, there are so many, but if I would have to describe how it feels like to live in Rockwell, is it's kind of like a small town community feel vibe in a big city. So you really get the best of both worlds in many ways. You have that community feel, but you can also go out and about and feel like the world is so big.
Yeah, I would actually agree. And it feels small enough, as you mentioned, where like for me, just walking around, it seems like everyone knows everyone by first name, and like it feels like you just grew up with everyone. Everyone's part of the family somehow. And I'm sure Chef Josh, you could agree. And like what's it like for you? Because you not only live in Rockwell, but you also run a business in Rockwell. What's that like?
Yeah, so basically my whole life evolves around Rockwell, essentially. So I rest my head in Rockwell, and I wake up and I go to work in Rockwell. And, you know, I have 2 young kids, and living in Rockwell itself is just blissful. I mean, it's so safe. I don't worry about anything when it comes to their safety around the town, around the vicinity. And like somebody said just now, you know, it actually feels like it's a small town, but everything is there and everybody knows everyone. So it's a phenomenal place to live and work.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. And I think the huge factor for me, like having lived in Rockwell, is knowing or feeling as like a young female, that safety and feeling so safe, just like walking out of your apartment, whatever time of the day. I used to walk my dog at 1 a.m., no worries in the world. And all the guards were like, hey, Ma'am Nicole, what's up? You know, like it really feels like, oh, okay, I'm in good hands and I'm safe. And I actually wanted to ask, like, Nicole, I know you have an establishment in Rockwell Power Plant Mall. What does the Rockwell lifestyle, what makes it so desirable to open your establishment in Power Plant?
Sorry, Nicole, it was a bit choppy. Could you repeat the question?
Sure, absolutely. I wanted to ask, what makes the Rockwell lifestyle so desirable for you?
Hello. Sorry.
No worries. We can get back to that in just a second.
Definitely, I think.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Okay, sorry, because it's super choppy. But anyways, about Rockwell lifestyle. Actually, one thing I appreciate with Rockwell, aside from the ambiance that the developers have created, is the convenience. So it's, you can do everything in Rockwell. You could have a beautiful dinner. You can run all your errands, go to the grocery. So all of these things help. Plus, it's a secure space, so you won't feel, you feel safe in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It really is like everything you need in one center. I know we were talking about this earlier backstage, and like you really just never even have to leave. It's so convenient. Everything is here. And Cindy, I want to ask and pick your brain a little bit because, you know, as an interior designer and considering that you have worked with a number of projects and clients in Rockwell, I'm sure this has given you good insight on the kind of premium finishes that Rockwell gives during a turnover, right? And a lot of condominiums, tenants always need to kind of upgrade or make a few adjustments before they even move in. But I never really felt that with Rockwell properties. Can you talk more about that?
Yep, no, I completely agree 100%. You know, as interior designers, usually, and Anne knows this, so usually we do an ocular. And what happens is that as an instinct, we usually nitpick on the kinds of finishes that is done in a unit upon turnover. And you know, I remember the last unit that I did an ocular with in Rockwell in Proscenium was actually a 4-bedroom penthouse in Lincoln, and I was just silent. Like the whole ocular, there was nothing to say, nothing bad to say, except, you know, I've noticed how good the finishes are from the countertops because they're using natural stones. The kind of flooring, because, you know, it's a perfect tone, it's not too red. They're using engineered wood instead of laminate. The kind of lavatory fixtures that they use. You know, they use very good brands such as Duravit, and I think all this really comes into play when you look at it as a whole. Whether you're just investing on it or whether you're really just living on it. But one thing also to note is that I love how the windows are just so abundant and natural lighting is just so giving in a lot of the units that I've seen and that I've worked on. And that's always something that's good for interior designers to work with. So yeah, I mean, when they turn over the unit and I look at it, they really just make our lives easier because there's very limited things to upgrade.
Absolutely. And actually, not just your life, but also the life of the people who are buying and moving into these condos. Because let's be honest, if you're buying a place and then you're going to spend to renovate it, but that's added costs and added headache. And then you don't know when else you can actually move in, because we all know construction usually takes longer than what they tell you. So this, like, they remove all of that headache from you. And it's as easy as, okay, let's move in. And we just need, you know, a few personal touches here and there to make it really feel like your home, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's really just that. I mean, you think about it, and sometimes you choose a different developer because of the cost variance. But then when you add it all together with all the upgrades, it's just the same. So there's really just premiumness with the units that you buy in Rockwell.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. And I actually want to ask, like, Chef Josh and maybe Anne, like, if you could chime in a little bit, how does Rockwell meet the needs of residents and tenants? Maybe Anne, you could do residents, and Chef Josh, you could take tenants.
So for residents itself, well, there are just so many things. As we mentioned, you go downstairs and everything's within arm's reach. I can go do a blood test because we have high precision there. That's important, right? Especially during
nowadays.
So there are just so many different things that you can do as well. And the amenities, you have the pool, you have the gym. Now that I finally have a baby, just even having a kiddie pool, especially because I moved to Proscenium, and it's fantastic because you have a tennis court. You have so many different types of options. You also have a playground. It's fantastic. I just go downstairs and everything is there. So in Proscenium itself, that's what's fantastic, because you have all those amenities. And then on top of that, you just cross the street where the guards are so friendly. You feel safe in it, in Rockwell itself. And we walk our dog every day. And there's such a strong dog community where, you know, our dogs feel comfortable. They get to interact. Same with our babies. They get to interact even outside, at least a little bit, especially during a pandemic time. And so it's just fantastic, to be honest.
Yeah,
there's so many great things about living here.
How about Chef Josh? Like, what's it like as a tenant? I mean, I know you're a resident, but also, like, as a tenant, I wouldn't know what that experience is like. Can you enlighten me a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll just chime in a little bit as a resident as well, because something happened a couple of weeks, well, last week. I actually had some construction work done in my unit. I was changing out all of my air cons. And what was so convenient about being in Rockwell, we just checked into Aruga and spent 5 nights there while they were doing all the mess inside my house. I moved back. And I don't know if all of us have dogs on this little conversation that we're doing now, but I must apologize if I see you out during the day and my bulldog bullies your dog. I do apologize to everyone on this call. As a tenant, okay, so of course with the pandemic at the moment, it's a very challenging time for our industry, the restaurant industry. Just because the confidence eating out is still not there. Rockwell itself has done a phenomenal job of making us restaurateurs more comfortable during the pandemic in terms of opening up the streets for additional dining areas. A lot of people want to eat outside nowadays versus, being in enclosed spaces, which is perfect that Rockwell's given us some part of the parking area in One Rockwell, where we've set up a large amount of tables out there. And not just in our building, it's going now around the mall, around the street side. They've now started it around the other side. So it gives us an opportunity for tenants to really make the most of what little there is and make the most of it for our industry. Because right now, it's any little thing that any developer can do right now. It's so important for us as business owners, and Rockwell has exceeded our expectations on how they've delivered it. So, yeah, I have nothing but applause for the whole leasing team or the tenant team for Rockwell. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. And you're right. Like, I noticed that when I went to the mall the other day. Now there's an entire strip of outdoor dining that wasn't an option before. And I have noticed that they're quick to evolve and quick to adapt to change, and especially during these times.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it's not just a quick thought, they're so quick, but they're so thorough in their execution as well. So it's not like anything's done, just thought about it on a Monday and executed on Tuesday. And then, you come back on Wednesday as a restaurant owner and maybe there's some issues. No, it's from Monday and they execute it. It's perfect all the way through. And, that's a round of applause to all of the people who are handling our accounts in Rockwell. Yeah.
I love that. And I think absolutely, like we can all definitely agree, like having lived through that and experiencing it firsthand, like seeing how there is that level of care from a developer. Because if we're being honest, developers, they're thinking about huge projects. They're constantly thinking about, all these buildings, but you can really feel the care and the level of like effort they put into every detail about making the actual experience of living here like so great. Because even in a pandemic, yes, we all have our challenges, and yes, we all had our fears, but then Rockwell did so much to really try and make everyone feel as safe and as comfortable as possible, from safety measures to making adjustments immediately everyone had a Viber Rockwell chat group for if you needed a mall information, grocery information. There was one. Awesome Rockwell fur parents. There was one. Rockwell food tenants. There is one. Like everything you needed, they made it happen. And I just like applaud that about them. And for me, like especially living alone, it gets scary because you don't have family members to lean on. And then you feel like you're alone and there's this global pandemic, but then you feel like, okay, I could just make a phone call. If I need something or if I have a problem, I could just call admin and they will find a way to help me,
And on top of admin as well, we do feel so safe, especially with street side. You can eat, and I have friends in Rockwell, but I've also made friends in Rockwell, and even more so during the pandemic, surprisingly, because we can only see each other really outside, and the way they clean and make it very thorough, we do feel very, very safe. But on top of that, you have the admin that you can count on, but as well as neighbors, which I think is rare today.
That is so rare. And you know what? I at one point I was reading the Viber chat group and I just cried because I was just so touched by how helpful everyone was. If there was a single mother who couldn't leave her children because she was working from home and the child was not allowed to leave the apartment, she couldn't get groceries, other neighbors chimed in, were like, I'm going to the grocery at 9 a.m. send me a list. I'll leave it to your lobby. Like, who does that? Right? It's just amazing.
It's the Rockwell community. I mean, it's just so strong and united that it has helped this pandemic, living this pandemic so easy. And like you said, shed a tear. It's so easy to do that because everyone has put down everything to help everybody else out now.
Absolutely. Amazing. And just going back to like in terms of design and just like living that premium lifestyle, I want to ask Cyndi again. I know you did a little bit of a project with Anne, right?
Yes, I did.
What did you end up designing, and tell us a little bit about that and that experience?
Oh, it was her former unit in Hoya.
Yeah.
It was her baby's room and for those of you who don't know, Anne just gave birth to a very beautiful baby girl. Her name's Claire. And so Anne and I have been good friends for quite a while. And she just said, she asked for help to design her nursery room. And, it was very smooth sailing, even the way, I'd have to say, because a lot of interior designers and even builders, they usually have a hard time in terms of construction because of the difficulty of the building admin and all that. Permits, but they've been very, very helpful. And right, I mean,
yes,
there was not any, it was hassle free. There was no hump. They were very friendly. We've even extended some hours, and they were just fine about it.
They were so wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's a plus point.
Because Cyndi is so talented. So once she finished the nursery, I kind of just took advantage and said, can you just fix a little bit the living room and then the bedroom?
Just like add on constantly a little bit.
Just a little. Sorry, Cyndi, thank you.
Cyndi, I also wanted to ask, like, I know you've worked with a lot of other apartments as well as working on projects, as you mentioned earlier, in Proscenium. And like, aside from the finishes, like, were there anything else that you noticed? Was there anything else that you noticed about the Proscenium properties?
I think one thing to note is really just the layout, like the way, like how a layout of a deliverable unit is. I think Rockwell has really been very successful in embodying a lifestyle of a condo dweller, whether that's a studio, whether that's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3, or a penthouse unit. I think they give such good space allocations. I've seen others wherein the walk-in closets are too small, the bedrooms are too small, but then the toilet and bath are too big. I mean, the proportions of the areas and again, the space allocations are very much thought of. There's also a lot of flexibility given. And again, as I've said, there's almost little edit that we have to do because the layout is really just in accordance to usually the dweller. I mean, there's really very little change, and I think that's a plus point if you are someone who just is looking to just move in right away instead of having to do any major construction.
Absolutely, and I think now more than ever, everyone really values like making our lives easier, like with everything else we have going on, like if it's one less thing we have to think about, great, I'm there. And actually, I wanted to ask Nicole, what was it like during the past year as a tenant inside the mall? Like, what was that experience like for you? Oh, hello, Nicole. I'm gonna repeat my question for you. I wanted to ask you, just in the past year, with everything you had going on, I know you're a tenant inside the mall, inside Power Plant. What was that experience like for you?
Actually, we did have to close for a while during the pandemic, but and admittingly, of course, there aren't many people who are going to the mall. But the good thing with Rockwell was they were very, very supportive. They found many ways to support the tenants by reaching out to the community, the residences, and other clients by putting up a website. And then they would also help with personal shopping.
That's right.
Other than that, in any way that they could support the tenants, very, very helpful. So I have to say, like just like Josh earlier, that Rockwell, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more from them because they were doing everything that they could.
Yeah.
So I'm so appreciative of that. And even aside from the jewelry shop, I also have another shop there, well, with some partners. And it was the same. Like they would really reach out to clients, send items to their house, things like that. So super supportive.
That's right. And I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's called Rockwell On Demand, where you can go and check and then you can order from all of the merchants and they will find a way to get it to you. So they're not just finding ways for residents, they're also finding ways for their tenants. And I think that's a great idea because I hear horror stories of other developers and it's not the same. Okay. All right. I wanted to ask you guys just to kind of like tie up everything. I wanted to ask, how would you guys define the Rockwell lifestyle if you could do so in just like a short sentence? Maybe let's start with Chef Josh.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't start with me. Isn't it ladies first? Okay.
Okay, let's start with Anne, and then we'll come back to you.
Sure, give me a moment to think.
And how would you define the Rockwell lifestyle?
The Rockwell's lifestyle is that tight-knit community vibe in a big city. That's what I was starting with. But it's what I really love is that there's a community for everyone. So it really feels like when I just started working and I was living on my own, I had my small apartment in Rockwell. Then I got married, moved to another apartment in Rockwell, and then you have a dog and you discover the dog community, which, by the way, Rockwell is very much an animal lover kind of, which is great for animal lovers because they also partnered up with Cara to take care of the cats there. And then you have a baby. And so you really can grow with Rockwell and there's a community for everyone. You have joggers, you have dog community, you have for everyone, a lifestyle that fits everyone's needs. At least that's how I feel about Rockwell, yeah.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Anne, and I'll ask you a little bit about the difference because you said you jumped from Rockwell to Rockwell buildings. I'll ask the difference of those to Proscenium. We'll get back to that. Chef Josh, now it's your turn. How would you define?
Just finishing writing it now. Okay, so as a resident, safety, convenience, and most especially a feeling of home in such a community. I think that's my topmost things as a resident. Now, as a tenant, I hadn't finished writing what I was thinking, so I'm going to go off the bat here. So definitely support from the developer themselves, Rockwell. This pandemic has really shown how supportive one can be towards an industry, and they've exceeded at that. Also, the Rockwell creates, such a strong connection to customers that I was just reading the comments coming in earlier. A lot of people's memories. A lot of them is down to food. Our food selections in Rockwell are just phenomenal. There's something there for everyone whenever they want to eat, and Rockwell has really pinpointed that lovely selection of cuisines and types of restaurants. And I'm very thrilled and honored to actually have one of my restaurants there. And I feel like that strength in creating a customer basis has been a cornerstone of success to my restaurant and to many others in Rockwell Center itself. So, yeah, that's my 5-second answer.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I like that you're able to both give the residential and the tenant's opinion. And I wanted to ask Nicole also, how would you then define the Rockwell lifestyle?
I define it as it's peaceful, harmonic, and it's beautiful. Like, I mean, the whole development of Rockwell, they really made an effort to make the place feel nice and feel good.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I never thought of beautiful, but it really is, because there are some places where you go in and let's say the lobby is gorgeous, but then you'll step into the elevator and you're like, what just happened? But everything in Rockwell, they really think about, even down to the landscaping. Like when you drive in, you see all those palm trees, and it almost feels like, for me, it feels like you're driving down like Rodeo Drive or like Beverly Hills, right? Is it just me?
I'm just gonna add something to that, Nicole.
Garden.
Because
Sorry, yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
driving with a partner in the car, and every time we enter Rockwell to go home, or that we've come from a long journey and we go home, she goes, it's so nice to be home. There's no wires. You know, the telecommunication wires, you see, they're actually internet.
That's so true. That's so true.
And a lot of people don't realize that Rockwell has put all of their wires underground. You know, so you have this unobstructed view of these beautiful skyscrapers and the architecture that Rockwell has done. And I think it's such a minor detail that people miss. But because we live there and we see it every single day, but then you think about it, it's like, no, it is absolutely gorgeous looking up.
I never noticed the wires, but you're right.
So
I never
true.
would. Yeah. And also, okay, I will add to that. The moment it's December and those lights come up, it's so distinctly Rockwell. Like, I love that first day once you start seeing like boom, 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 those orange lights. I'm like, oh yes, like it's Christmas time. And then you walk into the mall and then Christmas. Also, the Christmas decorations at Power Plant every year. They're always killing it with those polar bears. All right. Cyndi, I wanted to ask you also, how would you define the Rockwell lifestyle?
Okay, I think from an interior designer's point of view, I think Rockwell really successfully delivers its promise of, just providing the finest finishes, with well thought of layouts, luxurious materials, expansive units, picturesque windows, with giving the condo dwellers just a mindset of giving condo dwellers a just move in mindset. So I think that's very important to consider.
That's right. Okay, so I wanted to ask, like, let's just go off topic a little bit, just because I'm so curious. I know some of you guys are calling from all over. I know, Cyndi, you're in quarantine. Maybe let's start with you. I just wanted to ask, like, what are you guys up to and busy with your lives now? Like, what's going on? What's keeping you busy? Let's start with you, Cyndi.
So just for me, so as I mentioned, I just got back. I finished a couple of residential projects in the US. So, and unfortunately doing a 10-day quarantine. But I'm using this time to align with my team, to get a lot of updates from them, and then I'm working on a few collaborations in the future. So, just using this time well.
Nice. How are you actually doing that? Because in my, like, if you asked me before, like, interior design is so in person, and now everything's online and through Zoom. Like, how was that adjustment, and like, what was the biggest change?
It still is. I think ID, interior design, you're correct, is very personal. I think there's a lot of there needs to be a lot of actual things that we have to do. We have to check on materials on hand. We have to do site meetings. There needs to be a very good relationship with between us and the client that's beyond Zoom or beyond all this online. So we do what we have to do just to be able to deliver and make it through. I mean, home had been very much in tune. I mean, home design had been very much in tune and very much relevant. So yes, we've been blessed to be very busy during this period.
Did you notice a lot more people wanted to change because they were stuck at home? They were like, all of a sudden, I need office space. I need a gym in my house.
Oh yeah, definitely, Nicole. people figured out that they've been just living in their houses, and looking at their unutilized corners or things that they always need to improve, but they never had the time to improve in the past. So this whole, being on a lockdown and not being able to go out gave them a lot of space to, and a lot of time to rethink the way they use their spaces. So I think, there's just really so much that people had been into doing in their homes.
Yeah. And actually, thanks for that. I wanted to ask Chef Josh, what's it like? Like, what are you busy with? Because it seems like everything is going on within, I don't know, a 10-mile radius for you. You have your work, your home, and then you also have 2 kids. Like, are you happy that you at least get to like leave the house for a little bit? And what's keeping you busy?
When quarantine started, I was ecstatic to leave the house. That's why we started doing the bread program, because I just needed to get out. The kids hadn't seen me at home for that long amount of time. And to be honest, I wasn't used to being home for that amount of time. So anything that I could think of to get out of the house is what I thought about. But yeah, so I'm trying to keep myself busy, essentially, just to keep things going. I'm currently trying to reopen Helm, which I'm sitting in now, but that's in BGC. And then after watching that video on Proscenium, I'm very tempted to go and put in the concept to open another restaurant on that side of Rockwell, because it does look absolutely gorgeous. I just have to think of a concept because I don't want to replicate my existing concepts. I always want to challenge myself. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, we're still in a pandemic. We still have to stay safe. We are just trying to do as much as we can. And for me personally, try and stay out of my house as much as possible. That's not saying, because I live in Rockwell, I absolutely love going home. Yeah.
Well, I've definitely been one of those. I'm a sourdough girl myself, so I've always been getting my weekly sourdoughs from you.
Good.
Nicole, I wanted to ask, like, what are you busy with? I know you guys closed down for a little bit, but now things are opening up a little bit more. Like, what's keeping you busy?
A lot. Well, I've been doing rework jewelry for a very long time, but nowadays, like, surprisingly, I guess due to the pandemic, a lot of people have been coming up with all these old jewelry and asking me to rework them. So we're even more busy now than pandemic. So that's pretty much most of my time: production, design, and then of course, we also have this area in the shop, which is it's our estate section. So we've got vintage pieces and antique pieces as well. So if I'm not designing for clients, I'm also sourcing or working on my upcoming collection.
Wow, nice. Well, yeah, that's definitely going to keep you busy. But I love that. I love that people are actually reworking pieces. If anything, it's also more sustainable. So good on you guys. And Anne, I wanted to ask you, like, I know you're calling from somewhere. Maybe you want to tell us about it. What's keeping you busy?
Well, we just flew into Paris a few days ago. Well, 2 days ago. So I'm currently in Paris, but I'm still busy with work because we got to keep going. Mine is very much human centric. So my company behind the scenes is corporate coaching and events. So we had to find a way to make it more to transition online. And same for hosting, where I'm managed by One Lit Corp. We had to learn to transition from live events to online. And same with theater. So everything is very human centric, and we had to learn to do online readings instead. So the work from home setup was really a very crucial thing, especially now that I have a baby and I've given birth 7 months ago.
Yeah.
During the pandemic. So we had to find a way to create a good, safe, efficient space for work from home.
Hold up. You said theater and then you said finding a way. Are you like, is there online theater now? Like, are people doing shows via Zoom?
Yes, definitely. And then they're finding creative ways as well. And just on top of that, during the pandemic, that's actually how I made a few friends, just walking our dog, because the dog community is so strong here. And I found out the person I was speaking to, because, with the mask and everything, couldn't see, was an actress that I truly admired. And then she invited me on top of that to online readings. So even in Rockwell, you can meet just the most random of people that can be so helpful even for your work.
Yeah.
And we've been doing online readings as well since.
Wow. Okay. You're gonna have to. Okay. Let me know later on. I wanna experience one of those things and just see like, oh, how is it done? that's also something I feel like has never been done in our lives, right? So like for us to be able to experience that, I think is pretty cool.
And it's also incredible how you get to mix now tech with the arts. You really had to make the most out of Zoom and any other online platform.
I can imagine like now when you read a line, like someone can add sound effects via Zoom.
Yeah, what's also fun is you can have different nationalities as well join now. So it widens and audience members from different parts of the world can also watch, which is interesting and fun.
Yeah, if anything, I mean, it opened it up to a wider audience. And I told you I was going to get back to you about telling me the experience or the difference of now living in Proscenium and the other Rockwell properties before.
Well, it's still really as one. That's how I still feel like I'm still heavily part of the Rockwell community, because it still is. The difference and what I'm really excited about is because I'm into the arts. And yes, it's great to do online, but I hope that there's going to be a post-pandemic world where we can have more human interaction in the future. They're opening up a theater. So that to me is a very big deal, where I can just walk to the theater and bask myself in different types of art forms. What I also love about Proscenium is what I mentioned, where they just make it so kid friendly. With the kiddie pool, they have little fountains where I've already taken my daughter there. And they also make you feel safe on top of that, which is they give you a certain amount and then they sanitize it for the next person. So everything is just so well thought out.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love the cuts in Proscenium, because there's just the wide windows are just so beautiful. Like Cyndi mentioned, there's a lot of light that comes in. But I loved living in all the buildings, because I lived in One Rockwell, Tahoya. I really grew up in Rockwell and with Rockwell in the different phases. And really, with the security, for example, that's something I did want to mention, because that was so important. Just for example, what happened recently, Proscenium is a little bit further and we have to cross the street. And even with that, you'd think, oh, it's you're further from the Rockwell Center. But we were walking our daughter and my husband put his wallet in one of the compartments in the stroller and it fell. And just as simple as that is, I don't know how it got that quickly. So we went upstairs and we found out that the wallet was gone and we were panicking. We went downstairs. We just had to go downstairs within 5 seconds. The Rockwell guards in Proscenium already knew about it. They guided us with their motorbike to the guard who found it all the way on the other side of Rockwell.
Wow.
And handed it over to us, showed us, asked us if to check if everything's in there. And it just defines how interconnected. It's still a separate area, but they're all interconnected.
Yeah, there really is great communication between all the security and all the buildings. Like everyone is constantly on the same page.
Fantastic communication. And they I also love the greenery though that they added in Proscenium. There's just a lot of advantages to that area.
Okay, beautiful. when all this is over, I'm coming over and I'm inviting myself and we're gonna visit. Because
as soon as I'm done with my quarantine and I come back, please come over. And okay, Josh, I cannot wait to eat in your new restaurant. I'll be your first client.
There, all right.
I'll see you soon, neighbor, as soon as I open there.
All right. Actually, guys, we're going to be opening the floor to some questions. If anyone in the comment section has any questions, feel free to just pop them into the comment section. We'll do our best to answer them. Also, don't forget, with your answer to the raffle question, maybe we can pop up the raffle question here. Once again, the question is, what is your fondest memory in Rockwell? And you just have to answer in the comment section along with your email address. Make sure your email address is in the comment section so that we are able to contact you should you be one of the lucky winners. Now, for those of you who have just joined, again, the winners are the prizes are one Nespresso machine, and the other prize is an overnight stay at Aruga Apartments by Rockwell. So let's see if we have any questions here. I'm just gonna pop in and read. If you guys, any of the guests, oh, okay. What is your funniest Rockwell memory? Who has one? I have so many, but I want to hear from you guys. Even you, Cindy, huh? Even if you don't live in Rockwell, even if you just have a funny Rockwell memory, let me know.
Coming to crash at my place.
Always ba? Does she always crash your apartment?
No. He should
How
more
about-
though.
I would assume actually Chef Josh would have more because he has guests in his establishments. Like I'm
Hey,
sure
that's not fair. Just throwing that question on me, Nicole, please. I'm
Come
listening to
on.
everyone else being silent in this little screen of mine that I see here, and I'm like, oh, no one's answering this. I want to mute myself. Like, you know, when you're in class and you just sit back in your chair, go down like that. And no,
can't be that guy.
there has been so many funny moments in Rockwell, and I think I can't. If I say something, it's probably going to put shade on somebody else because they were at the center of this funny moment. Not anybody here, but
you don't
I
have
just,
to name them.
no. Well, okay. Let me think about this. There's just too many, to be honest.
I mean, I had one. I actually don't know who the person is, but during the pandemic, I briefly saw during one of my moments outside, like I was looking out the window and I saw someone like just like having his cup of coffee, but like completely in the nude. He was just like living his best life. He was like, oh yeah.
In the balcony?
in his balcony. I don't know. But I think he thought like he was so high up that he couldn't be seen. But he went back in immediately. I don't know. Maybe it was just a dare.
I was just about to say, because I have my coffee on my balcony, Nicole, and I'm like,
oh no!
which side are you facing? I told you this was going to end badly.
Well, that was one, and then another time, my boyfriend and I were walking down, and then there was this like awesome, his dream car. I think it was a Porsche 911. It was parked outside Edades. And then we were just doing our nightly walk. And then he's like, oh, it's my dream car. Like, can we go check it out? I was like, you could see it from here. Why do you have to go so near? He's like, no, I want to go see. So he like went next to the car and he was just like oohing and awing over the car. And then like next thing you know, the owner comes out and then like walks up to him and just like looking at him like, what are you doing to my car? And I'm just like, he just likes it. He's just a fan. He's just a fan. We're not robbing you. We're not stealing anything. We're backing away peacefully. But yeah, okay. Any other funny memories, or should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm going to mute myself for the next one because that's not applicable for me, guys. Okay, thanks very much.
Okay. What are some of your tips on how to foster a sense of community among middle-aged women? Okay. Who wants to, one, admit their age, and two,
Sorry, what's middle age nowadays? I don't even know. What's middle age?
I don't know. Or let's just say amongst women. It doesn't have to be middle-aged. But what are some of your tips on how to foster a sense of community amongst women? All right, maybe we can take that. Or you can take it, Anne.
Maybe you get a dog and walk your dog around. That's been helpful for me. Or come up with a new activity outside, and that's how I met lots of women actually. Where
actually maybe like group yoga classes, like out like by the pool area, perhaps. Like you can start a Viber group.
Yes, those kind of things. If you don't have a dog, you can go jogging and just introduce yourself.
Yeah.
That's what's been happening, at least for me in Rockwell. If you are around Rockwell and you see my face, just say hi. We can hang out.
Yeah, that's true, actually. And also everyone's, I mean, not just, just one gender, but across the board, everyone's
Yes.
very friendly here. Like, and you could just start a conversation with anyone and they're just like, oh yeah. And then they'll start telling you about their day and you're just like, oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's happened a lot. So maybe the way to start is to just say hello and
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
I think so. Or if you're a little bit shy, I know not everyone is as extroverted as we are. I noticed a lot of people will post questions in the Viber chat groups. And then from there, it could be like, hi, neighbors, I'm looking for this, this, and this. Or hi, neighbors, I'm interested in, I play this instrument. Does anyone want to jam or something, right? And there's always someone who's going to answer,
Yes.
I feel. Do we have another question? Oh, okay. We have, is there any amenity you wish Rockwell would finally have? Maybe anyone, Cindy or Nicole. I can't actually think of anything.
I can. Because they have badminton, they have tennis, right?
I feel like Rockwell pretty much has everything. I mean, if you want to exercise, they've got options for Pilates. They have saddle row.
Yeah.
Aside from that, you've got the restaurants, the cinema. You have a spa. So you have if you need to service your jewelry, you have a shop. So I mean, there's alterations for having your clothes altered. So I think they pretty much have everything.
There's literally everything. You need to send packages. There's
high precision. So
yeah.
blood tests, that's all taken care of. I don't know. Like, I'd have to think a little hard. Yeah. There's FedEx.
How about
there's
you,
currency
Cindy? Maybe.
exchange. I mean, there's almost nothing that Rockwell doesn't have. So, like, as a tenant or as a resident, it's so convenient to run your errands, grocery, everything, Santis.
Yeah, everything there. How about Cindy from an interior designer? Maybe you know something we don't.
No, actually, I'm trying to think hard as well. If there's anything like on my wish list as an interior designer, or like, or as my experience of talking to clients on their wish list, there's really none. It's funny. On top of my head, the only thing that I thought of was an electric charger for an electric car, but but that's really
that's cool.
Off. I mean,
that's a good idea.
Maybe. Oh, you know what, guys? You know how across Europe they have those charging stations of those the scooters?
Yes, and bikes, little bikes.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe that. And like more bike racks.
Or rental bikes or whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that.
Wait, that would be so cute if like people biked more around here, I think.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
Yeah. Is there a holiday you guys love to celebrate at Rockwell aside from Christmas?
And say Valentine's.
Sorry, okay, should I? All right, I've been just married too long. Valentine's.
Actually, that's true. They also have like you know what? Don't they do like before pre-pandemic, they had like Easter events, right? Like Easter egg hunts for the kids.
Yeah, my kids absolutely adore those.
Yeah,
even in Halloween, actually, trick or treat was really just the best in Rockwell. I remember, even if I'm not a resident, I would bring my 3 kids because I have 3 girls, and they're all going to be dressed up with all sorts of funny costumes and just go trick and treat. And I know that they sell those tickets out so fast, so I usually have to buy them days prior to the actual event date. But yeah, I miss those. I wish the pandemic's gonna be over soon, so Rockwell can again do all these things.
You know what's good also is New Year's. Even people who don't live in Rockwell, all my friends, everyone comes over to Rockwell to watch the fireworks because we have like a pretty good display. I think that's a good one too.
Yeah. But you have for everything. Mother's Day as well is very nice. There's so many floral arrangements.
I wouldn't know, but I'll take your word for it. Do we have any other questions? Let's see. All right, I think that's it. Once again, guys, don't forget last answers to the question. Don't forget to put your email, and we will flash. I think now is the time to announce the winner of the raffle. We have it. I think it'll flash on the screen. For the winner of the Nespresso machine, we have, let's see, drum roll. Da, 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 da. This is where the sound effects come in. That's my drum roll. Let's see who's the winner. Well, we're waiting. I think they're having a difficult time deciding. We've had some pretty good answers. Okay, so the winner of the Nespresso machine is Paola G. Salome. Congratulations, Paola. Someone from the Tatler team will contact you and email you for your delivery details. And the winner for the overnight stay at the Aruga Residences is, here we go once again, Manny Hernandez. Congratulations, Manny. Someone from the Tatler/Rockwell team will be contacting you to claim your prize. Thank you once again. First of all, thank you to all our guests for taking the time. I know you guys are all so busy and chatting with me, and I can't wait to see you guys all around Rockwell one of these days. And if you do see me, come say hi. I'd love to chat and catch up with you guys. I'll be ordering more bread, Chef. You'll be hearing
next bakes on Friday.
All right. And also, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Once again, the properties, the Proscenium Residences is now open and available for move-in. They have 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom units. If you guys have any questions, just message someone from the Tatler team or the Rockwell team. And guys, it really is a great place to live, and you guys can move in immediately. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, my name is Nicole Andersson, and I wish you guys all a safe and pleasant evening. Bye.